In our documentation collection, we hold stills, posters, scripts, manuscripts, publicity clippings, props, costumes, TV sets, glass magic lantern and advertising slides dating from 1895 to today. Our collections are kept in secure, climate-controlled vaults to protect them from the light, dirt and humidity. If we do have material that is damaged, like you say, mould or we try to not clean it, but we try to stabilise it, so we'll get rid of the surface dirt that's on top, and then from there on we'll preserve it to the best that we can to stabilise it, and so that it can last for longer. I guess the Sir Robert Kerridge album, photo album, that has original sketches and photographs of cinemas around New Zealand. That's one of my favourites because I spent some time in an old cinema. It used to be called the Mayfair, then it was changed to the Cinerama in Christchurch. And so I loved running, it was a youth centre by then. I loved running around in that old cinema. And so you see photographs, and now I'm in a role years later, and I'm looking at these old photographs and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we used to run amok around there. It's fantastic. So that album is like one of my favourites. Then there's the peanut vendor, Len Lai. This is one of the characters in the character from a Len Lai short. And also the Fuller Hayward bronze sculpture, which is at the moment in our workroom. And I think my favourite part of the bronze sculpture is the little dog that's on the left-hand side in the corner. I learn a lot from other people. I'm learning a lot about depositors that come in and bring in this material and they want us to archive it. The people that actually take care of the material, and then the ones that may want to display it. Then you've got the collections, and they come in such a variety of different formats, and we like the challenges when that comes in. It's like, oh gosh, I wonder what it's going to be and what kind of condition it's going to be in, and then how are we going to preserve that? What do we keep? What do we pass on to other people that might fit within their collection and not ours? But it's all that assessment that's really exciting, and then how to preserve it and describe it and research. You get an item and you're going, oh, it's a mystery. It's like, oh gosh, I wonder what this is all about. And then next thing you know, you're finding out all these secrets, and covers a lot more than what it stands for. So we enjoy doing that. We enjoy a lot of that research side of it, as well as preserving it. And the amount of people that when they find out about it, and then it kind of you're planting the seed, or someone else has planted the seed, and then you're adding to their whatever they're researching or their story. We see that as common sense to preserve the master, so that it's there for generations to be able to have a look at research, or it fits the puzzle of how we live, how New Zealand, that little piece will add to the whole New Zealand history. I quite like that connection where, someone walks in and off the street and says, oh, that's my great uncle. It's like, oh, really? And they're really excited about it. They just love the fact that that's part of their history, and that they can join the dots and provide some background to maybe there's a gap in their family history that they didn't know about.
I've been working on public memory of the New Zealand Wars, and one of the ways I'm particularly interested in exploring how this has changed over time is through film and television, through screen narratives. Well, I have looked at scripts and looked at the changes that take place in scripts over time when you look at different versions, and sometimes there are successive drafts. But the archive also has a lovely collection of reviews, which is very, very handy, rather than having to go through years and years of newspapers. The clippings of reviews are great material to work with. Sometimes interviews, publicity interviews at the time. But then going further back to look at some of the material on Hayward, the letters, and Diane Pivac from the archive tipped me off to a great little letter in which Rudolf Hayward finds a character in the streets of Whakatane that he's particularly somebody he's been looking to cast, and he finds the actor for that individual. So there are other kinds of documents as well. It's great to be working with people who know the materials. There's a number of people in the archive who are familiar with different parts of the collection, so it's really nice to have those conversations and shared enthusiasms about material, and to be dealing with people who come up with things that they think you might be interested in, and often I'm very interested in them.